So look, thanks for taking the time. I know there's plenty of options down here to have a look at what you want to do. So I'm here to tell you that, we think we're on a good thing and you should get on it with us. So we're saying we've got a gold and nickel project and calling it a diamond in the rough. So in terms of your analysis of what you want to look at and where you are, I can't recommend getting on board with REZ at the current status. So enough. We clearly have got advancing gold prospects, and recently our recent historical reports and discoveries of the nickel potential of the project just make it an absolute ball terror that is worth getting involved with. I know we've got about 20-25 minutes, so hopefully I'm not going to bore anyone. I like to do more exciting presentations, so you can mark me out of 10 later and see how we went. Just geologically, or geographically, we're up at Lake Ballard up here, so we're in Menzies. Menzies is an hour north of Kalgoorlie, and I'd just like to show this because it gives you an extent of what we are. This is about 12 to 15 kilometres away from our Granny Bend project, which we are currently mining. So unlike many small 18 million market cap style companies, we are mining, and we focus on trying to make sure that our cash flow is managed so that we have a smooth cash flow, we know what we're doing, and we work towards that to add significant value to investors and make sure that we're still chasing the multi-million ounce resource and whatever else we can get. So as you can see, Lake Ballard's up here. To give you a clue, I'll talk a little bit about Cock Robin, which is up here, which has a historical results, 98.5 grams per tonne out of the ground. This was a 60,000 ounce mine, and as you can see, there's a couple of other pits up and down here. We call this the Springfield Bend Zone. Over on the east out here, we've got our Gigante Grande project, which is significant, and we're hoping turns into a 1 to 4 million ounce project. Behind us is sitting our developing nickel play, and of course, other operations and other opportunities to mine what we're doing. So I like to get straight to the point because I believe that people are busy. So why should you get involved? Why buy REZ as a stock? Why would you put it in your portfolio? The obvious issue is, we're a ball terror. We've got plenty of upside. We're $18 million. And if you want a 10 bagger and a little bit more risk, we're probably for you. We've got significant projects in WA and Queensland. It's taken us a while to bed them down, but we have got them. We've got existing cash flows moving on with existing operations and real upside with exploration. So when we talk about having 100 square kilometres of project, it is a old goldfield, or it is a designated goldfield. It had multiple prospecting licenses all over it. It's got 400 old workings. It is genuinely highly prospective with gold showings all over it, and we need to do a lot more work than really what an $18 million market cap style company has been doing. And I guess that's what the team's just said, okay, let's get into this and make this thing actually happen. So we think we've got existing undervalued gold resources. We talk about around 200,000 ounces. It's 192, I think. We haven't actually firmed up some of our recent drill results, which might add another 100, 150,000 ounces to what we're doing. But frankly, we're trying to still chase that million to 4 million ounce deal. In our project, and what you're looking at here is irrefutable evidence of gold. So there's significant gold strikes out at Gigante Grande. They are huge and thick, and I'll go into that later. And also at the bottom base of that is, we had a high of 76.4 grams a tonne down there. So exciting. We've never really been under that 100, 150. I think we had one drill hole about 180 or 200 metres, which we didn't do. It was done historically. Enormous exploration potential. It's all over the place. 400 old workings, declared goldfield, 98.5 grams. And as I say, I call it the business as usual, where we are actually moving forward and we are developing up actual genuine gold deposits, whether they're 10,000 ounces or 8,000 ounces. It sounds boring, but for example, hypothetically speaking, we're in a joint venture at the moment. It's going to produce, say, 10,000 ounces of gold. We've done it as a joint venture. It's no cash cost to us, and it's going to generate probably $6 million all up, and of that, we would get $3 million of free cash flow. That's one of ours, and I'll run through and show you that we have another couple of those coming through as well, just to manage in the west. And over in the east, we have a significant gold deposit that we're hoping to start mining. This is really new, and I mean really new, like as in yesterday, we made an announcement about this. An old prospector basically handed over 2 reports to one of our guys up at site. And what has been found is there are significant historical drill results confirming nickel. Again, I'll go into that a bit more, but we've got 4 separate companies all talking about significant nickel finds, 12 meters, plenty of 6 meter stuff, and it's all 2.3, 2.9, some of it's 1.4s, 1.5s, significant results. Nobody's ever looked at it, and to be fair, we weren't looking for it, so we have actually had to add this in and say, hey, there is nickel here. The old timer Terry Grammer, who, as you would recall, has discovered multiple nickel deposits in Western Australia, he always said to the previous owners that there was nickel in this area, and it looks like he might well have been right. So very exciting stuff. Obviously, it's that, whatever rating you want to give it. My personal view is, once you've got 4 independent companies with 4 independent drilling results telling you that there's nickel there, we have nickel, and we just need to firm that up and work out exactly how we do that. What we're doing right now is exactly that. Our projects are developing rapidly. We can test our nickel proposition. That's what we're going to do. We're going to build out a Gigante Grande, which we hope, as I say, just continues to expand down the Moriarty Shear and grows out to $1 to $4 million. And we've got huge exploration on all fronts, all over the place, north, south, and central. And obviously, we continue to push forward our cash flow operations, including what we call Mount Mackenzie in Queensland, which has a scoping study on it to do around $63 or $67 million. And if we can get a con out of it, it'll go up to around $120, $123 million for probably a $15 to $20 million spend. We actually have a project manager on that now. It's moved from the GOs up into actually how do we get it out of the ground and what are we doing. And our resource there, I should say, for those who are technically bent, is that actually it's wireframed for mining. So it's we're anticipating a 90% reserve sort of style coming through on our resources over there, and we only cut them off at about 100 meters. Look, the reality is we have a good team and a very strong board, wealth of experience and success and access to capital. Our chairman, Gavin Resource, has just done Vulcan, and let's just say he is on a winning streak at the moment. Driven that from 4 cents to, I'm not sure the price at the moment, but I'm going to go with over $18. So he is very happy. This is the gold play and our resources play that the team wants to develop. So watch out for REZ, it's growing. That's just a summary position. So if you're bored and you want a sandwich or you want a cup of tea, that gives you an absolute snapshot, and you should say, I'm diving in, this is great. I'll now give you a very brief sort of overview of a little bit more detail of the deposits. Here's our map. For those of you, we're Australian, there's zero sovereign risk. We all know Australia is a fantastic place to produce gold, and it should be rightly valued as such. We obviously have our East Menzies, or Menzies project as I like to call it, sitting in an hour out of Cal. This is a significant project, which is our real blue sky project. Multiple opportunities here, from nickel, where you can see this little white square, through to our Gigante project on the east, through to our central zone, where we are actually running operations and mining at the moment, all the way up to Cock Robin in the north, where we get 98.5 grams. Our Mount Mac project tends to be treated a little bit like the fourth child. Maybe needs to be focused on. Again, I really like it. We've got 130,000 ounces sitting over here. We haven't drilled a whole lot on this. There's already 680 holes on it. There's no doubt the resource is there. It's very close to surface. The strip ratio is small, and our scoping study shows that just getting out the oxides and a bit of transitional and about 60,000 ounces will make around that $63 million mark. And we are moving where we've located water, we've bought the land, we own the land, we know there's infrastructure, and we're ready to go. Both of these projects, critically for anybody in the industry will understand, we are right on infrastructure. So we are an hour from Cal, and we're about an hour, and I'm going to go with an hour and a half. It's at 150 k's, so maybe an hour and 15 minutes from Rockhampton in Queensland. We have significant development opportunities and significant ability to do so, given our close network with existing infrastructure and projects. I'll just skip over this. I'll skip the whole corporate overview issue and go straight to the East Menzies project. It is 130 k's north of Cal. It's on the Bardock tectonic zone. That's the mine behind me. The super pit is on the same zone. You can see this Paddington, we have gold processing around where we are, all the issues that investors should be looking for in terms of the potential for a successful project, we have at our fingertips. It is a complete project. It has existing gold resources that are known and can produce cash flow for the next 5-10 years, depending on how we want to get it out. And it has massive upside for the 1 to 4 million ounce deposit that we're looking for. And you know, we then still have significant exploration ground and of course that nickel play. 20-kilometre strikeable zone, which is significant from the Springfield Bend zone and the Gigante Moriarty shear zone. We can split this into 2, 3 or 4 projects, depending on how Mike and I are getting on in geo terms. I want to go north more than he does, and he likes to go south, but you know, such is life. We ended up going east and making what is potentially an incredibly significant find in Australian terms. Here's a bit more detailed map. We're zooming in now. You can actually see what we're doing. You know, as I said, the Gigante Grande exploration here has been found over here. This is the one where we've got, you know, 100 metres of grade, where we're talking, you know, I think the average grade is 2.2 all the way through. And we've also got at various levels, really high grade stuff at sort of 76, 45, 25, 30. I'll show you that on the next slide. Huge. But what we think is happening out here, the current theory is that this Moriarty shear zone that you can see is acting as a trap. And that's where we're seeing these significant and repeatable results coming out consistently and regularly, which is fantastic. It's a high volume, lower grade mine. It's going to sit within the 1.4 to 2 grams a tonne sort of mine. But most importantly, it's very near surface. So the strip ratio is very low. As everyone will know, if you're over about 0.3 a gram, you've paid for your excavation and you're on your way. It looks like it could be a highly profitable long-term mine with really significant upside. Up at the top, Cock Robin. I'm just desperate to get up Cock Robin just because 98.5 grams a tonne and we haven't had a look at it. I've been desperate to get up there for a couple of years. We will get there and have a look, but again, you can see we've got New Start sitting here, which is 22.25, and you know, we've got gold showings running all the way through. This is the Springfield Bend zone we talk about. It's 20 kilometres. Sitting over here on my left is Granny Bend operations, where we are actually mining, and we're actually taking ore to the mill now. And I am expecting to receive cash flow out of that over the next, probably in the next 2 months. We'll start to see that come through, and it'll run through late November, December, January, filling up our coffers and making sure that we're all tickety-boo. On top of that, below that, what we probably don't talk about a lot is we do have down here the Maranoa. It's only a 10,000 ounce style deposit. Probably 5,000 or 6,000 ounce will come out of that. So, you know, it's probably a $4 million profit on that, a couple of $1 million bucks. That's the obvious next move. Good enough sits here on our left here, just in terms of what we're talking about, with about 40, 50,000 ounces. We want to do a bit more drill holes on that just to make sure that if we go for an open cut, it's going to make some sense. It's a bit higher grade, you know, we're seeing 12, 16 grams sort of stuff out there. All the known geological area, 400 workings all over this shop. If you walk over it, you basically got to watch out you don't fall into a hole. And you know, they're old timers. They took out the high grade stuff and left a lot behind. So it's just a significantly exciting prospect. So I was excited about the gold. And of course, then you go and say, well, you know, it's kind of like, you know, the Demtel ad. If you guys remember the Demtel ad, I'm probably old enough to, and you aren't, where he goes, and there's more. He offers you more. The more, of course, is that we have done this work that has found a nickel project, developing nickel project, which is where we call the Springfield Bend Scout drilling. So we need to get back down here and have a look, and I will just review that a little bit more detail. This is the Gigante Grande. This is where we're saying, look, we hope this stretches out to 1 to 4 million ounces. I'll zoom in for you on this and just show you some of the results. Some of these results here, you know, you can see a metre at 76.4. You can see that all the way through here, you're getting, you know, a metre at 49, a metre at 21, a metre at 26. But what you can see is the thickness of the grade. It's all the way through. So when you're starting to talk about this, you're getting an average grade of 2.29 grams per tonne running through this project. So that's significant. And what we haven't done is we haven't really gone incredibly deep. There is a deep hole here somewhere. You know, we got we got 5 meters at 29 from 72. Here we go. We got a meter at from 200 meters. We got 7.5 grams down at 200 meters. So this project just needs a lot more exploration and work done to it. And what we're really talking about, which is exciting, is if you look down here at scale, this is only 250 meters. So in terms of what we're doing and what we're suggesting is we're really only looking at sort of 750 meters. And what we've done is we've been a little bit quiet about this. And we went out, and because we think it's contiguous and it's structurally repetitious, we've gone and pegged both north and south. So we've unlocked a further 4.6 kilometres of strike, taking our strike zone along the Moriarty Shear. And you'll remember the Moriarty Shear sitting here. Here's our green zone of the Moriarty Shear zone sitting through here. The Moriarty Shear, we now have 8 kilometres of Moriarty Shear. So if the Gigante Grande project does what we hope it does, which is continue to act in this trap against the Moriarty Shear zone, there is no reason why this won't continue to develop to the north and to the south. And also, as you can see, with a metre at 7.5 grams per tonne at 200 metres, it's probably deeper too. We simply haven't had the firepower to really go, okay, we need to put a rig on this full time because we've been slowly developing REZ as a practical project where we're saying, look, let's manage our investors' downside and let's give them this real clear blue sky. And the truth is the blue sky is getting bluer and bluer and getting more and more certain that it's actually there. So this is a hugely exciting prospect. You can see, you know, the type of stuff that if you're a miner and you can get excited about it, it's open cut, it's 115 metres at 1.3 grams a tonne. Not a huge tonnage rate, but certainly what you can see is that you've got, it's from 18 metres. So it's very, very shallow, or it's very near surface, and we can go from there. I'll skip over existing operations. I don't want to run out of time, but we'll you know, we are moving. You can see it's slightly higher grade, 10 metres at 5.12, that sort of stuff. Positive, definitely producing, hopefully produce $6 million in the next few months. And excitement plus is, of course, that we've now dug up a couple of old reports and from BHP and CRA, where they're finding nickel with a maximum of 2.9%. Values, we had 3 metres at 1.53, 3 metres at 2.27 from 31 metres, 2 metres at 1.24 from 6 metres. No work's been done on this since this is 1986. And in prior to that, in 1969, CRA was reporting 1.43% nickel, 1.49% nickel, just in a similar area. We then have gone back and dug up all the historical reports, and we've got Great Australian Resources, you know, giving us 7 metres at 1.46%, 29 metres at 0.8% from only 11 metres down the hole. This is incredibly near surface stuff, very exciting. And then we've got Proto Resources with 12 metres at 1.22% from 2 metres. So, you know, incredibly near surface, easy to get at. We need to do the work on it. I can't tell you enough how excited we are, but it gives you a strong idea that REZ has significant projects and upside. Our last project, I'll run through very quickly, Mount Mac over in Queensland. As I say, I love it simply for this reason. We're planning to produce 67,000 ounces of gold. We're planning to make $63 million. And we're currently doing metallurgical testing to see if we can get the con out so we can get the 130,000 ounces out. And that will deliver us with $122 million. It's only a $15 or $20 million spend. We've had the plant done up. We know what we can do. So with that, I can see the time. I don't want to not give time for questions and answers. So I'll leave you with the last issue, which is really in Mount Mac in Queensland. We think it repeats itself in Clive Creek. It's definitely something where people are looking for that deep porphyry gold copper system. We've had Mark Creasy's company, or company Mark Creasy was largely invested in out here. We've had Evolution out here. We've had Newcrest digging. Newcrest actually put down a deep hole and at about 500 metres found the Instinct prospect with about 12 metres at 5.9 grams a tonne. Not something we're chasing yet unless we make that $120 million or $63 million, which we hope to start, you know, hopefully, as I say, late next year, early the following. And that is pretty much where we are. As I said, Gab's on the board, I'm on the board, Dan's on the board, Mike Johnson, serious GO, absolutely excellent. His results have been amazing in what he's doing. And of course, this is why I love Mount Mac, because it is a small mountain. And as you can see, we're just taking out this piece of dirt here. So So that's pretty much a summary of REZ and why we think it's exciting and why we think, everyone should get on board and help us build a massive gold company. So I'm free and open for any questions. And hopefully, Tim, that was pretty much the time.